how can I easily adapt to Krishna consciousness faster? Will it be slow process or fast process? Okay. You see, the verse which I quoted from the 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself says that the process of Bhakti Yoga purifies the practitioner very quickly. Kshipram. So we have to understand what is this Kshipram. When we say very quickly, naturally the question comes, what is this very quickly? Is 1 minute quick? Or is it 1 hour, 1 year, 1 lifetime? What is quick? It's because time is relative in this material world. So actually what we have to understand is, in the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explained Ashtanga Yoga, how to perform Ashtanga Yoga. And after he explained the whole Ashtanga process, Arjuna asked Krishna that what happens to Yoga Bhrashta? The yogi, a person takes up the process of Ashtanga Yoga, practices it, and then later on he is not able to complete the process. Doesn't he become like a riven cloud? Suppose there is a big cloud. One portion of the cloud separates from the rest of the cloud and goes away. What will happen? It will become, as long as it is part of the big cloud, it has got some existence. Moment it gets separated and the wind blows it away, it will get scattered and its existence will be finished. So like that, a yogi, Ashtanga yogi who is performing yoga, suppose he is not able to complete the process, will he not become like a riven cloud? Meaning, if he did not perform yoga, because yoga means whether you perform Ashtanga yoga or Jnana yoga, you have to renounce the material world. That's the first criterion, first qualification. So a person renounced the material world, went to the forest, practiced Jnana yoga, Ashtanga yoga, whatever, and then he could not complete the process, he fell down from the path. So he did not enjoy materially. If he had stayed in the material world, he could have enjoyed life. He could have earned money, he could have performed dharma, he could have married, had children, enjoyed family life. So many things he could have enjoyed. Now he took sannyas, gave up everything, went to the forest. He did not get spiritual moksha also, and he did not enjoy materially also. So hasn't he lost both ways? Like a riven cloud. This was Arjuna's question. So Krishna replied that for a yoga bhrashta, there are 2 kinds of yoga bhrashtas. One is a person who follows the path of yoga for a short period of time. He performs yoga, say 1 or 2 years he performs Ashtanga yoga or Jnana yoga, whatever. Then he gives up everything, goes back to material life. Another is a person who performs yoga for a very long time. Maybe 1 full lifetime he performed, or 2 lifetimes, 3 lifetimes he performed Ashtanga yoga or Jnana yoga. But after that he fell down. So what happens to such people? So in both the cases, there are different results which are obtained. So a person who performs yoga for a short period of time and he falls down, what happens to him? Krishna says he will go to the heavenly planets. He will take birth in Swargaloka. And then he will enjoy in Swargaloka for a long period of time. And then after that he will take birth again in this material world, on this earthly planet. And having taken birth in the earthly planet, he will again revive his propensity to engage in yoga, and then he will continue the process from where he stopped. This is what happens with a person who fell down from yoga after a short period of time. That means, say, 1 lifetime he performed, but by the end of 1 lifetime he could not perfect his life. That's what he means. And then life after life, many lifetimes he goes on executing his path. Like Krishna say, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Janavan Mam Prapadyate. So many lifetimes he continues practicing, and ultimately he will reach the final destination. The second kind of yogi is a person who performed yoga for a long period of time. Already many lifetimes he performed yoga and he fell down. What happens to him? Such a person, he will Shuchinam Srimatam Gehe Yoga Brashto Sanjayate. Such a yoga brashta who performed yoga for a long period of time and fell down, he will take birth not in Swarga, but he will take birth in the family of spiritualists. The parents are already following the path of spirituality. or he will take birth in the family of very big aristocratic people, so that all facility is there for him to continue the path of yoga. And then again, bahunam janmanam ante, at the end of many births, he can attain perfection. So even if a person falls down from the path of yoga, he will either go to heavenly planets and after a long period of time come back and continue the process, or next life he will take birth in a spiritual family and again he will continue. So either way, the yogi is not losing, because whatever he performed from there, he will continue. This is Krishna's assurance. Now in the 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about what happens if a person falls down from the path of bhakti yoga. So for such a person, apiche suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak. If a person is engaged in pure devotional service, ananya bhak, he is engaged in pure devotional service to Krishna. But suduracharo, he falls into some sinful activities. He gives up the path, he falls down from that path. Sadhureva savantavyaha, you have to still consider he is a sadhu. Why? Because shipram bhavate dharmat. Very quickly he will come back to the path of devotional service and he will perfect his process. So there is a comparison that is created. One is a yoga brashta who performed jnana yoga or ashtanga yoga who fell down. Another is bhakti yogi, performed bhakti yoga but fell down, but his fall down is very short span of time. How short? There are two examples which are given in the Bhagavatam. One is that of Ajamila. Ajamila was initiated into spiritual life by his own father. His father was a pure devotee. He initiated him into devotional service, and in his youth he used to have a Narayana deity and he used to perform devotional service, archa vigraha he had, and he used to perform devotional service to that archa vigraha. Later on, but what happened? In his youth he got into the association of a prostitute and he fell down from the path of bhakti yoga. Then what happened? At the end of his life, when he was 81 years old, at that time, again he revived his Krishna consciousness. He called out to Narayana, his son. First of all, Krishna gave him intelligence to name his son Narayana. And then when Yamadutas came, he first called out to Narayana. And because he called out helplessly, Krishna gave him the remembrance. Oh, what this Narayana will do? He is just after all a small kid. I worshipped another Narayana in my youth. Why don't I call out to him? And he actually started calling out to Narayana. Moment he did that, Vishnu Dutas came. And the Vishnu Dutas forbade the Yamadutas. They told him, no, you have no jurisdiction over him. He has uttered the name of Narayana, you please go away. So then they went back. And then the Vishnu Dutas advised Ajamila to go to Haridwar, continue his devotional service and perfect it. So immediately Ajamila left his home, went to Haridwar, continued chanting Narayana's name and went back to Godhead. So you see, Ajamila within the same lifetime, he fell down from the path of bhakti yoga but got reinstated within the same lifetime. In the case of Bharat Maharaj, it took a little longer. Bharat Maharaj had gone up to the point of, almost to the point of Bhava Bhakti. Harau ratim bahannesha narendranam sikhamanihi. So he had developed rati, attraction for Krishna. And he was so much attracted to Krishna, he gave up his kingdom, everything. And he went to the forest and he would go from place to place without considering even this is my enemy's kingdom. Bhiksham atan Aripure. Aripura means in the Puri means the city. Ari means enemy. So even in the cities of his enemies, Bhiksham atan, he would go and beg from door to door. Imagine, he was the emperor of the world and now he is going door to door begging. And Swapakamapi Vandate, even though he had been Narendranam Sikhamani, he had been the emperor of the whole world, once he came to developed that attraction for Hari, if he would even see a Chandala, he would offer him obeisances. Oh, you are a better devotee than me. So Bharat Maharaj had reached such a stage. But he got attached to a deer. So it was a fall down for him. So what happened? Next life he became a deer. but not an ordinary deer. As a deer, he remembered everything in his previous life. So as a deer, instead of running around, he would go find out the ashramas of various saintly persons in the forest, go and sit there and hear Harikatha from them. And how long does a deer live? Not for 100 years, maybe 20 years, 30 years, whatever is the lifespan of a deer. So finally, when the time came for the deer to die, he uttered a prayer which he had learnt in his previous life. Oh my Lord, oh Krishna, please always engage me in the devotional service of your lotus feet. And praying like this, he left his body. And next life, he became Jadabharata. And as Jadabharata, he continued his realization, perfected his life and went back. So you see, Bharat Maharaj also, 2 lifetimes, that was all it took. After he fell down, 2 lifetimes, that too, not 100 years. Life of a deer is very short, 20, 25, 30 years, that's all. And next life continued. And even in the body of the deer, his devotional life is continuing. It's not that it has stopped. So, this is the meaning of how quickly one can perfect one's devotional service. If one engages in devotional service to Krishna, the progress is very quick. Whereas if you take the process of Jnana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga or Karma Yoga, what happens? Bahunam Janmanam Ante. After many lifetimes of perfectly practicing the process of Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, etc., one will finally come to the point of Vasudeva Sarvamiti. I have to render devotional service to Krishna. So the other processes take many lifetimes to complete their, to come to the success of that process. Whereas Bhakti Yoga, within 1 lifetime or maximum 2 lifetimes, done, finished. So compared to many lifetimes, 2 lifetimes is hardly anything. And that 2 lifetime also, you are in full remembrance of your devotional service. You don't forget the things. So this is the wonderful facility of devotional service. So there is the example of Katwanga Maharaj also. Katwanga was a king who was ruling this earthly planet and he was very powerful. So once there was a fight between the Devatas and Asuras. So whenever there is a battle, what the kings do? They will assemble all the forces. They will assemble all the allies. And then they will fight the battle. So the Devatas, what they did? They enlisted the help of Katwanga Maharaj also. That you also come. You also please help us in this fight. Katwanga also joined in because he wanted the Devatas to win. He was on the side of Dharma. Devatas are coming and asking me, why should I refuse? How can I refuse? It's a matter of great honor for him. Devatas are coming and asking a Manishya to fight on their side. He also joined the fight. And the And the fight went on for a long period of time. And it was an intense battle. Finally, the Devatas prevailed and they were victorious. When they became victorious, then Katwanga Maharaj, the Devatas asked Katwanga Maharaj, we are very pleased with you. You have offered all your help to us. And unfortunately, while you have been fighting this, all your family, your ancestors, everybody has died and gone. Because so many years have passed, so many ages have passed. So, if you want any benediction, you please ask from us. Whatever you want, we are ready to give. So, Katwanga Maharaj was a very intelligent person. Naturally, if Devatas have to come and ask him for their help, he is not an ordinary person. So, very intelligently, he asked them, how much longer do I have got to live? How much longer do I have got to live? Based on that, I will decide what I want to do. See, very intelligent. So the Devatas immediately calculated and they said, you have got 1 more Muhurta left. 1 Muhurta is about 48 minutes approximately. So Katwanga Maharaj said, oh, I have got only 48 minutes. Now what will I ask? Should I ask for ruling over the entire earth? Should I ask that I want to rule the Swarga? What is the use if I am going to live only for 48 minutes? He said, forget it, I don't want anything. He sat down and he started rendering devotional service to Krishna And within that 48 minutes, he perfected his life, went back to God. So you see, Khatwanga Maharaj took 48 minutes to perfect his life by the process of devotional service. Droha Maharaj took 6 months. Ajamala took 1 lifetime. Bharat Maharaj took 2 lifetimes. So this shows how devotional service, even if performed by a 5-year-old child, it can give you perfection within a very short period of time. So devotional service is the fastest path to purify ourselves and attain perfection. So if we perform devotional service under the direction of Prabhupada very seriously, this whole lifetime, if we stick to chanting 16 malas of Hare Krishna mantra, following the 4 regulative principles and all other instructions Prabhupada has given, and dedicate ourselves to rendering the service in the mission of Prabhupada, then at the end of this life, Prabhupada will take us back to Godhead. We don't have to worry about how much time it's going to take us to get perfected. This is the beauty of devotional service. So, definitely, Krishna consciousness is the fastest process. And how to easily adapt to Krishna consciousness faster? Simple. You keep in the association of devotees. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Koi, Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoi. If you have even a moment's association with a pure devotee, it can give you full perfection. Look at Dhruva Maharaj. How long did he spend with Narada Muni? Their conversation was hardly for a few minutes. Narada Muni asked him that, what do you want? He said, I want a kingdom where I want to find where is Narayana. And he said, no, why are you, you're a small child. Why are you playing? This is the time for you to play. And this forest is filled with all ferocious animals. No, this is not the place for you. Go back. Dhruva Maharaj said, no. Whatever it is, if you know, you please tell me. Otherwise, I'll continue my search. So Narada said, okay, fine. Go to Madhuvana, chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. How much time it would have taken? Hardly 4-5 minutes. After that, Dhruva Maharaj did not meet Narada Muni. Only that 4-5 minutes, Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha. Even if a fraction of a second one comes in contact with a pure devotee, that is enough to perfect us. So, if we associate with Prabhupada every day, our perfection is guaranteed. So the fastest way, how to adapt to Krishna consciousness faster, you have to associate with devotees more and more. You see, in Kali Yuga, in all these examples which I cited, whether it is Ajamala, whether it is Dhruva Maharaj, whether it is Khatwanga Maharaj, all these personalities, they performed devotional service all alone because it was a different age. In Kali Yuga, to perform devotional service on my own is very, very tough. More often than not, we will fall away from the path. Therefore, Prabhupada created a society, an institution where we can all stay together and practice Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, Prabhupada could have told each devotee, okay, I am initiating you, you are now initiated disciple, go to the forest like Dhruva Maharaj and practice Krishna consciousness all alone. Prabhupada never said that. Prabhupada said, stay in the temple, in the city, in the association of devotees and go back to Godhead. So, this association of devotees, sadhu sangha, is very, very important. Not only association of devotees is important, sajati ashaye, the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu states, one must associate it with like-minded devotees. Why? Because amongst Vaishnavas also, there are many, many kinds of Vaishnavas. That's the reality. There are Sakama Bhaktas, there are Nishkama Bhaktas, and then there are Vishnu Bhaktas, there are Rama Bhaktas. So you can find all kinds of, there are Narayana Bhaktas. You can find all kinds of devotees. Now, if I want to develop myself and attain perfection in a particular path, I want to go to Goloka Vrindavan. I want to develop pure Krishna Prema. I don't want to go to Vaikuntha. I don't want to go to Ayodhya Dhama. Then you have to associate with devotees who have similar desire. So this is very important. Because you have to understand, in the Garuda Purana it is stated that Brahmananam sahasrebhyaha out of thousands of Brahmanas, Satrayaji Visishyate, one who knows how to perform yajna perfectly, he is very special. And out of many thousands of Satrayaji Kotibhyaha, out of this one, Satrayaji Sahasrebhya, out of thousands of Brahmanas who know how to perform yajnas, a person, Vedanta Paragaha Visishyate, one who has understood that what is the essence of the Vedas, such a person is even more special. Sarva Vedanta with Kotya, out of crores of people who have understood the essence of the Vedanta, essence of the Vedas, a Vaishnava is very, very special. Vishnu Bhaktaha Visishyate. A devotee of Vishnu is very, very special. So you see, to become a Brahmana is the topmost in the social order. Very few people are actually qualified Brahmanas. Out of thousands of such Brahmanas, one who knows how to perfectly perform yajnas, he is even more rare. And out of thousands of Brahmanas who are perfect in performing Havan, yajna, hardly one person may know the essence of the Vedas. And out of crores of Brahmanas who know the essence of the Vedas, hardly one person is a devotee of Vishnu. So to become a devotee of Vishnu is very, very special. Vaishnavanam Sahasrebhyaha. Out of thousands of Vaishnavas, Ekanti Visishyate, one who is a Ekanta Bhakta, one who is an Ananya Bhakta of Krishna, he is even more rare. That means the many kinds of Vaishnavas, Vaishnavanam Sahasrebhya, out of thousands of Vaishnavas, to find one person who is a devotee dedicated to Krishna is very, very rare. You understand? So, if I associate with some other sampradaya, then they may be great devotees of Narayana. They are also Vaishnavas. But we associate with them, then we cannot become devotees of Krishna and go back to Goloka Vrindavan. We'll end up in Vaikuntha. There are so many devotees who are devotees of Lord Ramachandra. You associate with them, you will develop love for Rama, you will go to Ayodhya Dhama, you will not go to Goloka Dhama. So, if you want to go to Goloka Dhama, which is the highest, to develop Krishna Prema is the topmost, even amongst Vaishnavas. Vaishnavanam Sahasrebhya Ekantyeko Visishyate. This is what the Puranas are stating, that a devotee of Krishna amongst thousands of Vaishnavas, even to find one devotee of Krishna is very, very difficult. So that means it is, even amongst Vaishnavas, it is the topmost. So, if you want to develop Krishna Prema, then you have to associate with devotees who are similarly inclined. That means you have to come to the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya only. Now in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya also, there are so many Apasampradayas. There are so many Sampradayas which are not genuine. Like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was a genuine Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharya. But after his time, Prabhupada said all his disciples, they become Asara. They have lost the essence. They cannot, if you go to them, you cannot go back to God and you cannot develop Krishna Prema. So you have to come to Prabhupada's mission. Now you come to Prabhupada's mission also, there are two groups. If you go to the other group, you will not get Krishna Prema. Right? You will develop Guru Prema. Now if that Guru is not pure devotee, where will you go? I don't know. If Prabhupada, okay, it still takes you back to God, that's a different matter. But with 100% guarantee, you cannot say that you will develop Krishna Prema and go to Goloka Vrindavan. And so therefore, even within the Krishna consciousness movement also, you have to come to the lotus feet of Prabhupada. Accept Prabhupada as your Diksha Guru. Then you can be assured 100% that I'll go back to Godhead. So, it is very, very special, extremely special to get Krishna Prema and go to Goloka Vrindavan. So therefore, if that is your goal, you have to associate with Sajati Ashaye. You have to associate with devotees of similar goal in life. So therefore, even if you come to ISKCON also, you have to be very clear where you want to be. If you think, ISKCON is the same, here also Prabhupada is there, Prabhupada same, Prabhupada's book, same Hare Krishna mantra, same Kirtan. So I'll go and hear lecture there also, here also. No guarantee where you will reach. Sajati Ashaye, you want to develop attachment to the lotus feet of a pure devotee, which is Srila Prabhupada, then you have to associate with those devotees who have similar mood. This is called Sajati Ashaye. This is a principle in pure devotional service, which is given in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So that's the importance of association. So therefore, if you want to develop your Krishna consciousness fast, then only way is Sajati Ashaye. Seek out devotees who have similar purpose in their life, associate with them. Then you can develop your Krishna consciousness faster. So this is the understanding. How to maintain consistency in daily sadhana. Sometimes I feel very tired, very fired up. Not tired, sorry. I feel very fired up with very good sadhana. Wonderful. And there will be days when I feel my sadhana is not at par. How do I tackle this dilemma? This is correct. This is a problem. I don't think this is a unique problem. This is a problem which everybody faces. Right? So, what you have to understand is, when one feels very fired up, meaning you are feeling very enthusiastic. At other times, you don't feel enthusiasm. So, Prabhupada likened enthusiasm to the powerful engine of a car. What runs a car is its engine. The more powerful the engine, the better the car will run, isn't it? Somebody once told me that there was an advertisement for a Benz car. Benz is a very well-known international brand. So in this ad, long back I had heard, I never saw the ad, somebody came and told me. So in this ad, one man goes and purchases a new Benz car from the showroom. And he takes it home and calls his family and says, come, let us go for a ride, I bought a new car. And they take it for a round. And they, go into the city and they are going around, and after half an hour, 45 minutes, suddenly the car stops. This man tries the key, trying this way, that way, so many things, car doesn't start. New car, so he calls roadside assistance. Immediately from the company, one man comes. Then he also checks, tries, it doesn't start. Then he opens the hood, looks into it. Then after that, he comes back to the man. And he says, the technician from the car company, from the Benz company, he says, we are very sorry, sir. There has been a manufacturing defect. So we will replace your car. So this man asked, what is the defect? What happened? New car, no. He said, I'm really sorry, sir. The car came without an engine. So this man says, without an engine, but I was driving the car all along. How did the car drive? How did the car run all along till now? If there was no engine? So the technician replies, sir, it was running on reputation. So without engine, on reputation, it was running. So this is just a joke. But the point is that the engine is the most important thing for a car, isn't it? That's what drives the car. So Prabhupada says, enthusiasm is like the powerful engine of a car. That's what drives our devotional service. But sometimes it is natural because we have a material mind. The nature of material mind is it gives distress from time to time. Adhyatmika klesha. Just like our body, sometimes we fall sick. We get fever, or we get a cold, we get some other problem. We fall sick. So our body, from time to time, it falls sick. Then we have to take some medication. Then we'll again regain our energy. And when we are sick, we are very tired. We cannot do anything. Isn't it? Likewise, even the mind also falls sick. And when the mind falls sick, what happens? Enthusiasm goes down. Prabhupada says, this is natural. And Prabhupada says, therefore, a devotee, whenever he feels depressed or he feels lack of enthusiasm, he should reject that depression, continue with enthusiasm. So this is the only process. The process of Bhakti Yoga has to purify us of the contamination of material nature, which forces our mind sometimes to lose its enthusiasm. So the solution lies in continuing our devotional service. I am fired up for sadhana. I am feeling very enthusiastic about sadhana. I am performing very nicely. Suddenly something happens, all the enthusiasm goes away. But still I stick to the process. I continue my sadhana. Enthusiasm will come back. We don't have to do anything else. The process of bhakti yoga itself will give you everything, because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that what does Krishna say? Yoga kshemam vahamyaham. Satatam kirtanta yomam yatantascha dridhavrataha. So anybody who is satatam kirtanta, constantly chanting his name, and yatantascha dridhavrataha, and with great determination he is executing his devotional service, what happens? Krishna says, yoga kshemam vahamyaham. Krishna preserves what we have and provides what we lack. So if we continue our sadhana, even though I'm not feeling enthusiastic in my heart, I have to again get up today, what to do? But somehow push ourselves, go and attend the sadhana, you will see enthusiasm will come back on its own. You don't have to do anything else. So this is the power of devotional service. So that's the devotional service itself will endow us with enthusiasm. And of course, like I previously mentioned, if we are in the association of devotees, that will also help us to gain additional strength. Like for example, the example is given of how certain birds migrate across continents. There are some birds which are in Russia. During the winter season there, it will go to minus 20 degrees, minus 30 degrees centigrade and all that. Extremely cold. Animals cannot survive. Human beings, you can put some heater, something inside the room, put on a blanket, jacket, so many things you can do. What will poor animals do? So the birds at that time migrate from Russia to India. So they are crossing continents and coming. Imagine, thousands of kilometers they are traveling. It is said even the butterflies, they also migrate over several thousands of kilometers. So how do they do it? They always do it in flocks. You don't find one bird individually flying across continent and coming. It will always be in flocks. Why? Because one bird is flapping its wings, flapping. It becomes tired and feels, no, I cannot flap anymore. Then it looks at one more bird up ahead. That bird is flapping its wing. So it feels, that fellow is flapping, let me flap a little more. So he'll keep that little more. He will cross across the whole continent. So this is the power of association. If you are in the association of devotees, you are feeling a little lack of enthusiasm, you look at others, he is doing, why can't I do? You will get a little bit of strength to render your devotional service, your enthusiasm will come back. So this is the secret. So the secret is simple, sadhu sangha. And that is why the acharyas for Kali Yuga have created an institution, all the acharyas. You look at Madhvacharya, he created Ashtamatha. And all the serious practitioners have to be in that matha. And they have to practice there. Shankaracharya also created the 4 mathas in the 4 directions of India, east, west, north, south. So, and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur started a Gaudiya Math. Prabhupada started ISKCON. So all the acharyas in Kali Yuga, this is a new phenomenon. This matha concept or organization, society concept was not there in the olden ages. Where was a matha for Dhruva Maharaj or Khatwanga Maharaj or all these personalities, Ajamila to go and join? Ajamila did not have an ISKCON to go and join. So he went to Haridwar, sat by all himself and he performed devotional service. So what you have to understand that in Kali Yuga, performance of devotional service all alone is not possible. So you have to do it in the association of devotees. That's why all acharyas know this. And that's why every acharya, he has created institutions. The concept of institution was alien to the Vedic times. All you had was, you would meet your guru would give you a mantra and certain instructions and go away. After that, you have to take those instructions, practice them and perfect it. It's entirely left to you. So, but in Kali Yuga, because that's not possible, you need the association of sajatiyase, of similar like-minded people. Then only you can progress on the path of devotional service and go back to God. This is what all acharyas have understood. And so therefore, We should always keep the company of devotees and perform devotional service. That will keep our enthusiasm going, and we'll be able to run a long race. That's the essence.